Nothing but the truth, so help you God. Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. Vanna, what y'all talked? What do we need to do?
I think the attorneys and CASA might need to go in a breakout room. I don't know, Ms. Dowdle, are we agreeing? Is there an agreement as to TMC and then we just need to hash out a few things?
Sorry. Yes, I think that there's an agreement as to TMC. I'm going to confirm that, but the biggest issue is placement and all of that.
Okay, well, why don't y'all go to a breakout room? Miss Bennett, what are you here for?
I'm the CASA advocate assigned to the case, just assigned by
different Miss Bennett, lawyer Natalie Miss Bennett.
Oh, yeah, how funny.
Well,
sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor, I just got hired by I guess the former placement by Kinsey Goff, and so she's asking for placement. I just got hired, so I have not filed anything yet.
Is she the sister?
Yes, the aunt. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, then, I don't know, lawyers, y'all can all go to a breakout room with the other Miss Bennett, and Miss Collins is her supervisor. Do y'all want Miss Bennett to go with y'all or not? She's not a party yet. Do y'all want her to go or not?
I mean, I'm sorry, Miss Bennett, but I would say no.
No, I get it. I explained that to my client that we haven't filed yet, so that we may not be allowed to say anything at all. I understand.
Okay. They agree otherwise, but I would have told you no too. But if they want you there, yeah. Okay. Well, Miss Simpson, if you can send everybody to all those minus Natalie Bennett to breakout room, please.
Okay, I'll just stay quiet and watch if that's okay.
Sorry for the delay, Judge, but I think we're ready.
Ms. Vanna, you may begin, please.
Thank you, Judge. So I believe that we have an agreement. I know Ms. McAnally can agree. Her client is currently incarcerated and he's not here today, but that mom agrees to TMC of the child to the department. And then Ms. Dowdle, are we in agreement for placement to, we're going to place the child in the foster home that was located by the department, and we will be incorporating Ms. Kinsey Goff into kind of, I guess, the treatment plan and things like that for the child. Is that correct?
That's correct. We're in agreement with that, with the understanding that the goal is for if possible, to phase the child back to Kinsey after the child can be stabilized, determine what services he needs, figure out what's happening, incorporate Kinsey into those, doctor appointments or therapies or whatever it is, so that she's equipped to have him. She understands that she's either going to have to, get her own apartment or find a way that her mom and sister move out and that house is, proofed from top to bottom, or whatever the case may be. Just for the record, and I know everyone may be aware, but I wasn't aware, and maybe I should have been aware, but Kinsey's last employment was as a dispatcher in Uvalde. So she's not a drug user. She's never been a drug user, which was why this was so important to her, and so important that everybody know that this was not drug use by her. Anyway, so she is going to do whatever it takes. And Lexi, I've talked with, I'm going to speak with her lawyer for her felony probation case. We're going to talk with probation. We're going to see about getting Lexi into some treatment, doing that sooner than later, so that we can get everybody on the right track. And that's our goal. There is a concern that due to the distance about how we're going to do visits, we want Kinsey to have visits. We want Lexi to have visits, and we know she's going to have to keep drug testing. And we would maybe like some, FaceTime type, Zoom, whatever, visits. I know with a 3-year-old that's difficult. It may only be for 2 minutes, just for him to hear her voice and her to see him and say hello. I know you can't sit him down in front of the screen and, carry on a conversation, but I do think it's important that he continue to have contact with Kinsey and Lexi on a regular basis for his benefit, not just theirs. Lexi, did I miss anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
And Judge, I am going to be asking that the court to do a partial non-suit of Ms. Colleen Goff. This was in the same cause number. This was earlier a participation case, and we included Ms. Colleen Goff because she was a member of the household. And now this is a conservatorship termination case. And so we're asking that Colleen Goff be non-suited, and that the style of the case be changed to in the interest of a child.
Okay.
And so I'm assuming Mom and Ms. Kinsey Goff will start drug testing, as soon as possible, and we'll schedule a family group conference to create a service plan.
Yes, and I've explained to Lex she's going to have to be calling in. She'll be assigned a color. They're going to give her the information. She'll start calling in and drug testing. And as long as it's in Burnett or Marble Falls, she shouldn't have a problem making sure she gets that done.
What about the child's hair strand test? What do we do about that?
It was positive for methamphetamines, Judge, for exposure.
Excuse me, what did you just say?
It was positive for exposure to methamphetamines.
Okay. And I thought that we ordered Kinsey to do another drug test at the last hearing.
She did, and she took an exposure test, and it was positive for exposure.
No, not positive for amphetamines?
Well,
No, Your Honor.
No. Just for meth.
And Your Honor, I believe we forwarded a letter or an email from the lab that verified that it's only for exposure.
What, did the mother do another hair strand test?
I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
She took hers. She took the initial one that she was ordered to take.
Ms. Dowdle, I don't have her application for court-appointed attorney, and you're going to.
Your Honor, she and I discussed that, and that's my fault. We're going to have it done and have it back to you by the end of this afternoon.
Where was the mother and the child living? And I guess let me back up. Didn't the grandma test positive too?
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
Was it use or was it exposure?
On the drug test, I believe it was exposure. However, she did admit to using methamphetamines in the recent past.
And was everybody living together?
Yes, Judge.
And that's allegedly when Stone and Kinsey got exposed to it. Is that correct?
I'm not sure.
That's my only understanding. And as the court may be aware, exposure doesn't have to come from someone actively using at that moment in the house. I mean, exposure can come from residue being on furniture, etc.
Yeah. Ms. Cummings?
Your Honor, I would just say that the information that I gathered from the family and then going out to the home is that Alexis didn't stay in the home regularly, maybe 1 or 2 days a week. Stone was there primarily with Kinsey and Colleen, 24/7 throughout the week. So there's no way to know where that exposure came from or who was actually using in the home.
You mean like mom versus grandma?
Correct, Your Honor.
Was Stone in daycare or was he allegedly at home? Did they take care of him at the house?
I want to say the aunt primarily. I thought that I have to go back to my notes and see. I don't know that he was in daycare or how long he was in daycare. It was the aunt. Kinsey primarily took care of him during the day because grandma worked. Alexis, this is what I was told from the family, whether or not it's true, is that she would come in maybe 1 or 2 days a week. She might take Stone with her somewhere, or she would just be there for a little bit and then leave.
Where did the grandma work?
She works at a game room there locally.
Where does the mother and Kinsey work?
Yeah, Kinsey is not currently employed, and I'm not sure about Alexis if she's employed.
Who is living with who right now?
Right now, at this moment, Your Honor, I don't know. Whenever I went to the home, it was Kinsey and grandma in the home primarily. Alexis would come by, maybe once a week, maybe or maybe not spend the night. But then, at the court hearing, all 3 of them were there together. So I'm not sure what is actually really happening about who's staying where.
Yeah.
At this point, we're trying to get Lexi into inpatient. So I think she's primarily staying at the house, trying to stay clean. Kenzie is, I think, also at the house. I could be wrong, but I think everybody's trying to step up and do the right thing. Kenzie understands that she's going to need to find her own place or figure that out. I think there was some discussion that there's a family friend that was a possible placement that was put forth, and we forwarded to the department. And my understanding is that could be a possibility, but that placement even offered for Kenzie and Stone to move in with her if we needed to have a different location or whatever, or Grandma and Lexi move out of the house and Kenzie stay in the house, depending on if, it can be cleaned from top to bottom and, make sure that there's no possibility for meth exposure for any residue or anything else. I don't know what that entails. But we did discuss with Kenzie the necessity of probably her looking to get, an apartment for long-term, placement of Stone if necessary.
How's she going to do that if she didn't work though?
Well, she's capable of working. Like I said, her last job before she moved back was as a dispatcher in Uvalde.
Miss Vanna, we had another case where we had a Colleen Goff. It was maybe before Miss Vanna. I don't know if any of y'all were on it. It's not this grandma, is it?
It possibly is this grandma. She does have some, because we discussed that whenever I was at her house. Or maybe, I'm sorry, no, I don't think she had a case with you. She was a collateral. Alexis maybe did some work, or her boyfriend did some work for you. There was something, small town.
Who's her boyfriend?
Oh, I don't know who her boyfriend was. I don't remember.
Well, tell me what this person's name.
Alexis. It was my husband. Jacob Evans. We cut down like 13 trees for you or something a few years ago at your house.
Cut down one tree if that was a person, and trim trees.
Oh, I thought it was more. I'm sorry.
No, I don't have 13. I would like to have 13 trees. I don't even have 13 trees. No.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
No, I've never had 13 trees. That's a different person.
You gave me some floaties. You had given me some like little like arm floaties for my son, and yeah.
Did somebody else help him?
Yes, Lonnie. I don't remember his last name, but I'd have to look it up.
Okay. I had a Goff case, Your Honor, in Burnett, like quite a few years ago, and it wasn't these people.
I think I had a Goff case also, and it was
like Atkinson. It was like Atkinson and Goff. It was different. It wasn't. None of these people were involved.
That's my dad. That's my biological dad. He doesn't have any rights to us. He never has. But the mother of his child, her last name is Atkinson.
This was a young boy, Miss McAnally.
That's who I represented, was a little boy.
Yes, that's Elijah.
Elijah.
That's my little brother. Well, half brother, whatever.
That went to didn't go back home.
I'm not sure.
He was placed with his paternal grandfather, if I remember. I think it was maternal grandfather, and we ended the case. And I don't believe the parent. This was a long time ago. I don't believe the parents were terminated, and he stayed with Grandpa permanently. But there was some visitation and different things like that with parents.
This case was not that long ago. Miss McAnally, you know what I'm talking about.
I recognize the name, and I have not been able to identify why, but I recognize all of the names. But when I called to do the conflict check, it did not come back with anything CPS related, is my recollection.
There is another Goff family. I went to high school with another Goff, but there was no relation.
There's a Brandon Goff that I had a criminal case with years and years and
That's
years
our
ago.
brother.
There was probably 3 years ago. It wasn't. I mean, it was during COVID, I think.
Judge, you might be thinking my office said about a Colleen gun, and the case went to the, with the field and stuff like that.
Maybe.
So the Goff Atkinson case I was on was just like 2022, early 2022.
Okay. But nobody has any conflicts on any of this stuff, right?
Not that I mean, I represented the child. I don't know that there's any conflict with
Okay.
an aunt. I mean,
Okay. Yeah, it might be Gunn. I don't remember. It was Colleen Short with the G. So that could be. Okay. So let's see. Child hair strand, Kenzie's drug test. Okay, got that. Okay, what else, Miss Vanna?
If that's everything, Judge, we're asking the court to name the department TMC and the parents as temporary possessory conservators with limited rights. That visits be set up as agreed by the department and ad litems. Hopefully we can get those things scheduled, including virtual visits. And for the child, Ms. Cummings, I'm going to ask you for the orders for the child regarding the assessments and evaluations we need for the child. For Ms. Kenzie Goff and Ms. Alexis Goff to begin drug testing on the color scheme, and that we develop the service plan of family group conference shortly.
Okay. Are there any prior orders in divorce or custody thing involving Stone?
Judge, there is a divorce pending in Llano, but it's on the dismissal docket, I believe, and it involved the child, but nothing has happened. There's been no service on anybody.
Anybody have any Native American heritage?
I see heads shaking no.
No. Okay, good. Ms. Dowd, what else do y'all need that Ms. Vanna didn't say?
Your Honor, I think I covered it all. We would like some, like I said, some FaceTime or Zoom visits as well as in-person visits for both Kenzie and Mom.
What has Kenzie or Mom done a UA in addition to the hair strand?
I think my client did a UA today. Is that right, Lexi? When did you drug test last?
I just drug tested this morning, but that was through my court, my felony court in Llano.
Okay. So she tested today in Llano.
Was it clean or was it dirty?
It was clean. I would have gone to jail.
Yeah, I was going to say she wouldn't be here.
What are you on probation for?
Attack by dog causing serious bodily injury.
Your dog attacked somebody? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, my dog attacked another dog, and then when it was tried to be broke up, he did bite somebody, and I had put him down. But yeah, he didn't attack the person. I mean, he just.
And you're on probation for that?
Yes, I got 6 years deferred for it.
I've never heard of that. That's
We
crazy.
Is it aggravated assault? Is that what they charged you with?
No, the charge is attack by dog causing serious bodily injury. It's a 3rd-degree felony.
I think that passed after that woman was killed in Travis County.
Okay. Well,
Dogs.
Miss Goff's going to be one of the few people that only one I've ever heard prosecuted for it. So
everyone says that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, she's on deferred, and we're going to try to get her into rehab and get this thing done.
Who's your probation officer?
Nicole Terry.
Okay. Okay. Miss McAnally, besides the client, what do you need?
Nothing at this point. I just need to be able to get with the jail to be able to talk with him. And then Angela sent me something that was supposed to be from Dad. So I just emailed back to her to say, hey, how did you get that from Dad? And is there a way for me to communicate backwards through that same channel? So I just want to get contact with him.
Okay. Thank you. Other Miss Bennett, what do y'all need? Miss Gail Bennett.
Most of the things have been addressed, so I'll just need to be kept up to date on where he's moved so that we have information on the new placement and when he'll be moved.
Okay. What's the name of the family friend that y'all talked about?
Teresa Foskey.
My understanding is she lives in Marble Falls, and ideally we would want Kenzie and Stone to move in with her. But my understanding is that's not going to happen today. But the goal is to, like I said, get him stabilized and get him with Kinsey ASAP.
Okay, Miss Cummings, what do you need to do?
Your Honor, Stone has a lot of behavior things. So, and I don't know the name of all the assessments, but the department usually does an ECI assessment, but then also a functional behavior assessment. Just looking for, he has a lot of signs of autism, pretty high up on the spectrum. So any evaluations and done really ASAP, and any therapeutic services that are recommended, getting him started in those right away to help him. And then at this time, I know that everyone's kind of agreed on, but I'm not recommending that he go with any family members until we get him kind of stabilized and see what all the issues are, if it's just behaviors based on methamphetamine exposure, or if he is, autistic and on the spectrum, just so we can get some things in place for him.
Well, ECI, he's already 3, so we're done with ECI,
Yep.
Unfortunately. Okay.
We do have a referral from his doctor for him to see a specialist if y'all would like that paper or anything like that. Maybe that would be helpful.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have that's agreed the department is named managing conservator. Our next hearing is our status hearing. It's June 4th. Ms. Goff, you have a service plan. You have to comply, or your parental rights could be subject to termination. Sounds like your mom and Kinsey have to work on service plans or at least services provided by the department also. When the partial non-suit as to Ms. Colleen Graff, the style of this case is going to be changed in the interest of visits with mom and Kinsey as arranged by CPS and ad litems. Mom and Kinsey can FaceTime together 2 times a week. I'm not going to do Kinsey 2 times, mom 2 times. That's just too much. Let's just do, y'all find out. I mean, maybe you can group FaceTime. I don't know how that stuff works. Maybe you can Zoom. I don't know. Y'all can, get Zoom. Y'all can figure that one out, but y'all can do it at the same time. Kinsey and Alexis Goff are to UA as requested by the department. Ms. Goff's court-appointed attorney application is due by 5/1/24. Ms. Dowdle is released. CPS arranged for autism testing for Stone. No family placement until further court order.
Judge, Judge, may I say one more thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Since the father is incarcerated, can we just find that he is indigent and continue the appointment of Miss Catherine McAnally?
Yeah, I'm not going about that.
Thank you.
Also, lawyers in CASA, do y'all agree that all hearings can be held via Zoom? Yes. Okay. Yes, also, I'm going to order Ms. Goff to provide personal effects as requested by CPS placement and or the attorney at the advisors in lieu of child support at this point in time. So are y'all saying y'all are going to move him from the foster home he's at, or what's that plan?
He's currently with paternal relatives. They have put in notice a little bit ago. They said that they can wait the hearing today to see what happens, but they are unable to continue caring for him and cannot meet his needs. So he will be, I believe the department has found a foster placement. Is that right, Miss Maria Henry or Miss Woodipian?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And that's where he will be moved to, Judge.
Yes.
Okay. Why? I mean, are they saying he needs more services they can provide, or are they worn out? I mean, help me here.
All of it. I think they're a little older. They're a little worn out, and he needs just services and things that they are unable to provide or assist them with.
What's the general area that the foster home is going to be, Miss Henry?
It'll be in the Temple area.
Okay,
that's the closest we could find.
It could be Amarillo. So that's. I mean, and the good thing is there's lots of places we can do visitation, stuff like that. That's good. Okay, well, I told Ms. Goff about complying with the service plan. Sounds like a good agreement. Obviously, I'm going to approve it, and I will see y'all on June 4th via Zoom.
Thank you, Judge.
Good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Just as a reminder, Your Honor, my client had really very serious surgery on Monday, so she is still very medicated and in a good deal of pain. So just to account for her appearance and interactions today, she's obviously not at her best.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about that last time, I believe.
I swear I wish everybody remembered.
Thank you. Yes, Miss McClure, where are you?
I am in the parking lot at HEB.
Do you need to talk to your client in a breakout room?
If I could just have like 3 minutes, that would be fantastic.
Okay. Mr. Driscoll, there's going to be something to click on. I need you to click on that to send you to a breakout room in a minute, okay? Ms. Lappin, where did she go?
She texted me and said she's feeling so bad she doesn't think she can even stay on. But I think that we have an agreement, so
Okay.
I'm willing to
go on
with her.
Okay, thank you. And her and Miss Feldman are friends and all that, so it's good. Okay, so Ms. Vandy, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. The parties have reached an agreement. Before I move forward, Ms. McClure, is your client in agreement along with the stuff that you emailed me today?
Yes, I also made it clear to him that he won't be asked to do anything that he can't do, like any service plan stuff. So he's going to work to get a list of what is available to him so that at the family group conference, he can be able to participate and tell them what's available. And yes, he is in agreement to all the other things.
Okay, thank you. Judge, we have an agreement that the department will be named a temporary managing conservator at this time. The child or the children will stay in their current placement with Ms. Feldman. We have also agreed that the parents will be temporary possessory conservators with limited rights that we always put in our adversary orders, that we're going to, let's see here, that possession and access, the parties have agreed that Ms. Holly Lappin will have virtual visits as agreed by the placement and supervised by the placement. The schedule of visits must be sent to CPS and the ad litems. That Ms. Holly Lappin shall have in-person visits as agreed by the placement after one clean urinalysis drug test, and that those will be supervised by the placement, and the schedule of those visits must be sent to CPS and ad litem so that they can attend if they wish to. That visits for Mr. Driscoll will be per the department and the ad litems, and also per the prison protocols while he is incarcerated. That we are going to defer any child support findings until the status here or further order of the court, Judge. Let's see here.
Oh, Ms. Vanna, hold on just 1 second. Just 1 second.
Yes.
Keep going on. You're talking about support stuff. You don't even want to do personal effects now?
No, not at this time, Judge.
Okay.
And then medical support will be provided by the department at this time. Let's see. That we have the standing orders in there regarding the drug and alcohol assessment and drug testing and the compliance with the service plan. But I believe that Ms. Lappin is planning on going into inpatient rehab, and that all other services will be developed at the family group conference.
She's coming back in. Okay.
And I don't know this. I was going to ask if Ms. Feldman, if we need to do a home study on her, or if she is already a licensed foster home.
I am already a licensed foster home through DePelchin.
Okay. Okay, fantastic. So no home study is required. Okay. And we're asking the court to find that that's in the children's best interest. And the only other question that I would ask would be if there is any Native American heritage, if the children have any Native American heritage. If either parent could answer, that would be fantastic. Oh, mom's not here.
I'll let her back in.
I think she is trying to hold it together, but is very not well. Our conversations have been pretty limited to the things at hand. I had not gotten an opportunity to ask her about Native American heritage, but I will make sure that I do.
Oh, it looks like Mr. Driscoll is unmuted. Maybe he can answer.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not that I'm aware of.
Thank you, sir.
I know for sure. I know the mothers. I know Holly doesn't have Native American ancestry, and neither I'm not sure if I do so. No.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Phantom. Got it. Ms. McAnally, what do y'all need?
Nothing. I did want to say we had already had the family group conference on this case prior to today. So we kind of have a plan in place that takes into account obviously the unique situation that Ms. Lappin finds herself in. So as soon as these medical things have resolved sufficiently, we're going to do everything we can to get her into inpatient as quickly as we can. But obviously, we have to take care of this medical stuff first.
Ms. McAnally, what's her relationship with one of the reasons that we're here? A person.
I don't believe that person is involved in her life at all anymore, is my understanding.
Needs to not be. Good. Okay.
We've had that discussion.
Okay, good. Thank you. Ms. McClure, what can we do for you today?
My client, he thinks that he will be out during the pendency of this case if it goes our typical amount of time. He's very interested in getting back into his children's lives. If I remember correctly, and Mr. Driscoll, correct me, did you want a DNA test on one of the children, Mr. Driscoll?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that on Christian?
No, Elijah.
Elijah. Okay. I can't do everything while I'm on Zoom. I can't look at my notes. Yes, Judge. He was asking for that. I do not know if he is on the birth certificate of Elijah, if he's already been adjudicated or whatever. So if somebody could answer that question, and if not, then he would like a DNA test on that child.
Okay, I was going to Ms. McClure.
And can I say one more thing for the court?
Yes, yes, sir.
I know the attorney said that the individual that was in the police report is not in Holly's life, and that's not true. It can be verified with my sister. I mean, he's that person still obviously still been seen at the address that the report was filed at. And in no way am I trying to throw her under the bus or anything, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like I just want the record to reflect truth of what's going on with the situation, because I've been vocal about all the stuff that's been going on since last year, and now it's just barely coming to light. So that being said, I just wanted to be said and it can be verified with my sister as well, as that this person is still very much in Holly's life, and so
Judge,
that statement wasn't true.
Can he provide the sister's contact information?
Yes, ma'am.
I have it. I can send it to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Yes.
With regard to DNA, it would probably be a good idea to do DNA on both of them while we're doing it.
Okay. Well, let me ask a question. Ms. Vanna, yes.
Well, I was going to object. There is a child support case in order in this case out of Travis County regarding Elijah, and we did file a motion to consolidate that. And so, I mean, there's already something there. I would like to wait to see if he's on the birth certificate of Christian. If he's on the birth certificate, then the department would object to DNA testing.
That's fine.
Okay, y'all bring up lots of questions I need to ask Mr. Driscoll. Okay, first, Mr. Driscoll, you don't need to tell me, but somebody tell me the man's name. I know it's in the report, but I'm not going to go back and look at it. Somebody tell me his name real quick so I can put it on the docket sheet.
Cody Garcia.
Okay. Oh, how can I forget? That's right. Sorry. Okay. Mr. Driscoll, do you think that you are on both children's birth certificates?
Unfortunately, no, I'm not. I would not know that, ma'am, because unfortunately, I've been incarcerated this whole time.
Holly says yes.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Driscoll, tell me what you're incarcerated for and for how long?
Unlawful possession of a firearm and tampering with evidence, and I have my short way is either January. I discharged for sure the whole sentence in September 24th of next year.
Okay. Where'd you go? What county did you go down out of?
Travis County.
Travis County. Okay.
Travis County and Hayes County.
Okay. Okay. And apparently there is an attorney general case somewhere ordering you to pay child support. Do you know anything about that, sir?
To be honest with you, no, ma'am, because like I said, I've been incarcerated this whole time. So, and my communication with Holly's been like, it's not been good. So it's like, if she did file it, I wasn't aware of it. Nonetheless, I mean, if she has filed it, I would just like a DNA test. But I mean, Elijah's very much my son. I would just, for my own knowledge, I just want to know. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I know Christian for sure is mine. I mean, he has all my features. Like I know that's my son. It's just there's certain features about Elijah's that's questionable, but nonetheless, he's very much still my son. You know.
Okay, well, you're telling me you've been incarcerated for a long time.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I'm worried because, you know, Chris, little one isn't even a year old. When were you?
I was out temporarily. I was out temporarily on bonds, and obviously that's when Holly I came home, and obviously we conceived Christian. But and then I was arrested, and now I'm serving my sentence. But
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Were you incarcerated any time when Elijah was conceived or anything like that?
No, ma'am. I wasn't. But at the time, I know at the time, me and Holly relationship, we were separated at the time. We were going through a rough patch. So there was times I know she was seeing other people, and so was I. So
okay.
So there's a question mark there, you know.
Do you remember having anybody come out to your unit or jail, wherever you were, doing any mouth swabs or any DNA on you or
No,
anything?
ma'am. I know that for sure. No one ever came and did that.
Okay. 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 Well, let's do this. Let's get the case from Travis County. Let's look at the order. Let's see if it says that Mr. Driscoll defaulted, see if he was served. You know, let's just see, get some more information on that. And then Ms. McClure, we can discuss that. And we need the birth certificates too, because, you know, if Mr. Driscoll didn't sign an acknowledgement of paternity or, you know, was incarcerated when baby was born, you know, let's just see, I'm not going to order a DNA testing today, but I'm definitely not going to rule it out. Okay.
That'll be great, Judge.
Okay. Okay.
Your Honor, we do have one other request.
Yes, ma'am.
We would ask that anybody who is having visits with the children be required to provide at least one clean drug test.
Like in-person visits?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me write that down.
Obviously random.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. CASA. Let's see. I saw Mr. Fowler earlier. Who do I see here for CASA now? Mr. Fowler.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. What do y'all need?
Nothing at this time, but we are concerned that I think it was Elijah that tested positive for methamphetamines.
Okay.
But the visits, the in-person visit we had at the park with the kids, with Sonia was there as well. It went really well. It was a good visit with Mom and the kids.
Okay, good. Ms. Vanna said it was the little one that tested positive, not Elijah.
Okay.
Yes,
okay,
Judge.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. Has Ms. Lappin done a hair strand test?
He has not. We had the FGC on like Thursday or Friday, if I remember correctly, and she had surgery on Monday.
Okay.
So she's not probably going to be even leaving the house for at least another week, 2, maybe longer. She's struggling a little more than I think she thought she was gonna.
Okay, well, I'll get to that in a second. Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. Wright, what do you need today?
Just so because of that, you know, that she hasn't done any drug tests in this case, we agreed at the FGC no visits until she does the hair strand and produces the clean UA. And then the baby's drug test came in after that. Elijah was negative, but the baby was positive for methamphetamine. I have observed a couple of her visits. She does really good with them, even being kind of on her, she's got a boot, I think, on her leg, or did the last time I saw her. But she does really well with them. We just need to get her on the right track and then figure out what's going on with the boyfriend or not boyfriend, whatever it is. And Judge, I would support DNA testing. Just I understand what Mr. Driscoll is saying. I think what the elephant in the room is the big boy is blonde hair, blue eyes, and the little boy looks just like dad. So I get it. And I mean, I don't think it hurts anything to do it once we get those orders back.
No, I'd rather be safe than have somebody be stuck paying child support their whole life that's not the biological father. No, I got that. But we need the order to be able to see how we even got to where we're at.
Yes.
So, okay. Miss Wright, what is your opinion about other people, or I guess even mother, you've just said it on the mother, but let's say other folks visiting with or without a prior drug test?
I think the last time Mom expressed some concern about, I guess it's Dad's sister, is that Amy on the screen. I mean, I don't think it hurts to just make sure, do a UA test and just clear the air. And I think she's had a visit. If I remember, I think Miss Feldman texted me last week and said they'd set up a visit.
Yes, we had a visit last Wednesday at a park in Georgetown.
Okay.
I think at our last hearing that was ordered.
What'd you say, Miss McAnally?
I think at our last hearing that was ordered.
Okay. Well, okay. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to name the department as super managing conservator of the boys. Our status hearing is going to be on May 21st. Okay. We'll have this, y'all have a service plan. Like the lawyers have talked about, you have to comply with the service plan before your parental rights could be subject to termination. Mr. Driscoll, do as many, if they have a parenting class or something like that in your unit, take as many things like that you think would be applicable or would help you in the big CPS scheme of things that you can do. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Mom's visits are supervised by the placement, and they are also, as Ms. Feldman arranges, after one clean UA. And it's also to be arranged, and the items and CPS are to be notified in advance of the visits. Mr. Driscoll's visits are per prison policy and CPS and items agreement also. No placement change without agreement of CPS and the items. Don't think that's on the radar, but need to put that down anyway. Ms. Lappin is not to have any contact with Cody Garcia. We're not even going to have to discuss that. Ms. Lappin is to hair strand per CPS, and that is to occur before the next hearing. Travis County OAG Attorney General case is to be on Elijah's to be transferred and consolidated herein. Ms. Lappin's I already said this, but I wrote it down again. Ms. Lappin's no visits until she has a hair strand and a UA. Amy have a UA before a visit randomly. Now, that doesn't mean like if she's already set up a visit, she needs to do a UA before that visit. She has a visit set up in the future, just pop it on her, and that makes it random. So that's fine. Okay. Miss McAnally, I do not have Miss Lappin's application for court-appointed attorney, but I have Mr. Driscoll's, and he's incarcerated. So why don't I have hers?
I think because I forgot to do it. I think that's my fault. I'm sorry.
Bad, Miss McAnally. Okay.
Sorry, ma'am. I will get that done.
Okay, it's due by 5/1/24 or attorney is released. Okay, anybody need anything further? Mr. Driscoll, I want to tell you this, and I'm sure Ms. McClure told you, but we aren't always fortunate enough to have moms or dads that are incarcerated attend court. Some units are very cooperative and some are very uncooperative. Okay. So I saw a prison guard come up to the camera a while ago. I want you to thank that person for us. And thank your warden, if it's whoever, or the law library person, whoever is in charge of letting you come down and visit with us. And I want you to be very nice to them, so you can come in the future, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I think everybody else on here would agree with me on that because, I mean, it's just a roll of the dice as to whether, the units are participatory or not, and it just drives me crazy.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, gentlemen in there with you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's actually a woman, but nonetheless.
Okay, well, I just saw like a little part, and I couldn't. I'm sorry, ma'am. I couldn't.
Okay. You're welcome.
Thank you, and please thank your warden or whoever facilitates this for us. It helps so much when we can have the incarcerated folks come and let us know, hear it from the horse's mouth when you're going to get out, if you got any write up, all that kind of stuff, and what kind of services that you can work while you're there too.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Well, everybody, work your service plan. Have a good day, and I'll see y'all on 5/21. Oh, what? Time out. Everybody agree that the hearings can be held via Zoom?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Y'all. Now y'all are excused. Bye.